Hi guys, thanks for joining us again with our Manta Live session. Today we're going to be talking about what the heck do you post on social media. It's kind of meta since we are doing this on Facebook Live, talking about what to post on Facebook Live now. So we've got Ivy Lamb here joining us, and she and I are going to have a really good discussion today about how you can really post things on social that matter and why you should be doing different things to really elevate your social game. So if you have questions or if you want to just type in your industry, we can provide you with some really great ideas during the discussion that would be relevant to you and your business. So a couple housekeeping items first. Make sure that you press the button right below us to follow us and get notified anytime that we go live. We are live every Friday at noon. So thank you for joining us on your lunch hour or your brunch hour if you're on the West Coast. And let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Okay, so one of the things that seems to be pretty obvious when we talk about things to post on social media is things like contests and sweepstakes. Now, Manta has one going right now. It's our Small Biz Love Sweepstakes. You can go to our Facebook page and there's a tab that says #SmallBizLove, and you could upload your photo and for a chance to win $500. Now, we're not saying you have to have a contest for $500. What we are saying is that there's opportunities to get a lot of engagement through these contests, right?
Right. And so if if cash or a gift card isn't feasible for you, you could even think about giving away free services, right? Like if you run a cleaning company, you offer a contest to see if a customer could get one free cleaning in their home or something like that. That can be a really good way to make your social followers feel special because they're getting this sort of like exclusive opportunity by following you on social media. So it's definitely an incentive to keep them engaged with what you're posting.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're doing a really small contest or really short contest, just offering the opportunity to be featured, like featured on your blog or featured on your social media as the winner, sometimes that even can be enough to really spur people to enter. So again, you don't have to give away a house, like HGTV does, but you can still participate in contests and with in-kind donations or cheap or free ways. So and again, that's causing engagement. So that's why we really want to do it. There's lots of other reasons. Things like if you're doing a photo contest, you can continue to use those photos and promote those photos in other areas. Instead of having to use stock photos. So that's a good way to get a sense of who your customer is too.
So I think the issue that a lot of small business owners struggle with is, what do I post on my social media that actually motivates my customers to keep coming back? Right? Like that's the whole goal, is that you want to be posting things on a regular basis such that you're staying top of mind. Yeah. Right? Like your customers are coming to your social media accounts, to your Facebook page, to get information, to learn more about your business. Behind the scenes photos and before and after photos can be really great content to give your customers a little peek behind the curtain of what you do.
And to really show off your personality.
Show off your personality. Again, it's like building a relationship.
Yes.
Think of it that way, right? And maybe if you think of it as building a relationship with your customers, it's a little less intimidating.
Yeah, and think about the things that you like to interact with other brands and other companies. So those are, again, a good place to start is thinking about what engages you even, and making sure that what you're putting out there will be engaging to your customers.
Another great content idea that I don't want us to skip over is local events. Yeah. So if there are things going on in your community, such as festivals or events or fundraisers, posting something that's related to that, or if your business is volunteering or donating, or even if you're sponsoring, a community Little League team, put that on your social media. Let your customers know that you're not only engaged with them, but you're also active in your local community.
Yeah, and Facebook has an events section that you can put in, and then if you post your event in there, you can also promote it through through that section. So that's another way to use Facebook to make sure that your content is being seen. Okay, so events are good. I like that idea. We've got to be posting on social media. A lot of people say that they're there just because they know they're supposed to be there. But a lot of small business owners are really focused on things like leads, things like getting sales. I mean, that's why you're in business. We want to make sure that this really ties back to the bottom line. So we've got some ideas on how to make sure that what you're posting really does tie back. So you want to jump in?
Yeah, so having a social media account and posting regularly on Facebook is a great place to start.
Yeah.
But here at Manta, we have some tips, again, for really taking it to the next level. One of those things is to link back to your business website, especially if you have a well-designed website with like a prominently displayed phone number or a lead capture form where your customers can put in their email address for you to reach out to them. So when you're posting this great content, whether you're posting a blog post or a sales flyer, make sure you link to your website so that you can actually use Facebook to be driving that traffic to your website, and where you can actually start to capture some of that lead information.
Yeah, and a pro tip on that is to use Google UTMs to attach to your links so that you know that when people come in from certain posts that they came in from social, so that you can really tie it back.
Yeah. Can you explain for anyone who doesn't know, because I didn't know this when I started working here, what is a UTM, Heather?
Okay, so that's a tag that you add on to the end of your URL. So ours would be like manta.com/ a bunch of numbers, like things like that. You've probably seen those in other areas, but what those are is it's telling you, okay, this is where the person came from. You are the one typing in those keywords that you used. Okay, so they came on Facebook. That's the medium that they came through. The content was my social sweepstakes. And you can add a lot of other things in there to help you reference where these links came from. But you can just go to Google and type it in, and they will code the UTM for you. So it's a good way to, when you're measuring where your traffic's coming from, to tie it back to certain areas so you know what's working.
Right. So another thing you can do, and specifically on Facebook, right, on the Facebook ads, make it really easy for customers to call you from the social media platform. I think, sometimes when you post, or if you're posting a Facebook ad, you have an option to just put like a click to call right there in the post. So if your customer sees it and they're interested and they're motivated, make it easy right at that moment for them to just pick up the phone and call you right from their smartphone.
Yeah, and there are different kinds of buttons that you can use that have different calls to action, and using Facebook's buttons, things like learn more even, to help drive back to your site, or sign up if you're sending them to a lead form. So making sure that you're using those strategically. But again, calls to action work. You have to tell your customers what you want them to be doing, and especially in social posts. So say I'm posting an article, I might post a link to that, but I also want to be able to tell them, hey, here's a little snippet of what you're going to get in this article. Click on this article to learn more. Don't just throw it up there. Make sure that you're actually using calls to action to tell your customers what you want them to do.
Yes. Another tip, to always include your location. This is especially important for brick and mortar businesses, right?
Yes.
So when you put up a post on Facebook and on Instagram, you have an option to tag your location. And this way, again, you just got to make it as easy as possible for customers to call, visit, buy. Again, it's like the easier it is, the more quickly you can allow your customers to act on their impulse decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an easy way to target too, so you don't want to be wasting people's time if they can't come visit your store. Why would you waste impressions on serving to people that aren't near you? So it's a quick win.
Yeah, for sure. So we've shared some really good tips, Heather, for making sure that your customers know, what they should do to buy, to incentivize them to buy for you. But I just want to throw in a little word of caution here, because on social media, most experts say that you should always follow what they call the 80-20 rule.
Yes.
And the 80-20 rule means you should be posting 80% just educational, entertaining, informational content that is really not a hard sell at all.
Right.
Like those posts, that's the relationship building side
Yes.
of your content.
Yep.
And then the 20% is those very strategic, directed sales pitches to your customers. And that's kind of like the golden ratio for your marketing, so that you're not turning customers off and they have reasons to come back to you and sort of stay warm, and then you're there when they are ready to buy with those special offers and those sales offers.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, 80% are the things that we're talking about: behind the scenes photos, tips that you can give about your industry, contests, things like that, fun things that you're posting. And then those 20% are, I've got a sale going on, or buy now, we come into the store. So those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Another piece of the structure of what you should be posting on social media is images. Images are really important. They are the most engaging, captivating posts that you can put out there. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you post a photo, you can't also post a link. That's important too, and you can do that, but you're going to find out that your photos, image-based posts, are going to get a lot more engagement. So you want to make sure that you're posting guidelines.
Right. So when you're thinking about choosing an image for your social media, it's important to pick something that you think is going to grab people's attention.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're, imagine you're a customer, you're scrolling through your Facebook feed. I mean, I do this every day, right? And it's so much, and it's updated all the time, that sometimes you kind of glaze over a little. You're like, So you have to think, this image is what's going to grab your customer's attention.
Yes.
So, bright images, eye-catching images, high-quality images with good lighting. These are all going to be really important things when you're thinking about what to choose.
Oh, and pro tip on that, try to stay away from blue because you'll blend into Facebook.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so you'll get less engagement on photos that have like blue backgrounds and things like that.
Inside tip from the experts, ladies and gentlemen. So you might be wondering, okay, well, where the heck do I get images, right?
Right.
So there are websites where you can go to find free stock images that you can use commercially.
Right.
Some of them include Pixabay, Splitshire. Creative Commons is a really good one. CreativeCommons.org is a website where people actually just go and upload photos that they want other people to be able to use. You just have to be careful with the attribution on that and make sure you're following their rules.
Yeah.
But it can be a good source for free images.
And you can actually search to say this is available for use. You don't have to, give attribution in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
People have put their photos out there.
Yeah. And then there's even some tools that can help you take the next step. So sometimes, I'm sure you've also seen this too, Heather, and our small business owners watching. You're scrolling through social media and you see this, really great image, and then there's like text on top, like maybe a quote or something else you'd want to share, and you think, how did they make that?
Yeah.
Well, there's one program called Canva, which is a really popular.
I love Canva. I use it myself. Yeah.
Easy to use. Like, you don't have to be a designer.
They've designed them for you. You just put in the elements that are yours.
Right. Exactly. And you can create all kinds of things with Canva, like Facebook headers and Twitter posts.
And a lot of it is free. So there are some that you would have to pay for if you want a nicer image or different kinds of graphics. You would have to pay like $1 per. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of free options too.
Yeah. So there's also an app called WordSwag, and it's a sort of similar thing. It only is an app on your phone where you can select free images, put text on top, and share it on social media right from your phone. So those are also some really good tools for punching up your posts a little bit.
Yeah, and speaking of those images where they have text on top, take advantage of trends like a Motivation Monday. Using that hashtag Motivation Monday, you can get your posts seen more by doing things like creating an image that has a quote on it. Happens every Monday. These are the kinds of posts that get a lot of engagement. So it will draw people in who may not know about you yet because they like an image that you've posted, and then from there you create that and build that relationship. So it's a good way to jump on things. Things like Follow Friday as well is another trend that goes on every week where people post recommendations on who to follow on Twitter. Throwback Thursday, it's not just for your personal stuff. You can, we've posted before baby pictures of some of our employees, just fun things to be engaging, showing a little bit behind the scenes of who your company really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Heather,
yes,
we've talked about what small business owners should post on social media.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything they should not?
Oh, there's a lot of things that you should. There's more nots than shoulds. No, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind, not just about what your message says, but also the structure of your message, making sure that your photos are visible, they're not grainy, making sure your links actually work.
That's a big one.
They're going back.
Again, like as someone who's a potential customer is going through social media, if you click a link and it pops up to like a bad website or the wrong link and it's a 404, it's so frustrating. Like that's a moment where you're losing trust.
Right, exactly. It's not just about you've lost that click. It's about maybe they're not going to click again because they are just going to assume that it's wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then again, things like grammar, spelling errors, always triple check for spelling errors. If it happens, don't remove the post. Honestly, I know that sounds crazy, but if you make a mistake in a post, and I'm not talking just like a typo, I'm saying if you give out misinformation, don't delete it. You never want to delete a post. What you want to do is tag that post and issue the new version. So say, oh, we accidentally put out this misinformation. Instead of 50% off, it's actually 20% off. Mm-hmm. But you still never want to remove a post. I know that goes against a lot of what people initial reactions might be, but yeah, it's something.
Is it just a transparency issue, Heather?
It is because if you've already had engagement on that post, people have already seen it. They've seen it. It lives on. It's going to live on whether you delete it or not. So
it's like Pandora's box.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't
It's
put
the
it back
internet. It lives forever. So even if you do delete that, it actually it really reduces your reputation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good advice.
And then stay away from the things that your mama told you not to talk about in polite company. So we're talking, politics, private lives, things like that. You especially don't want to tie those to your business. Now, some businesses have, a cheeky voice.
Yeah.
And there is a balance there, but really try to look at it with a professional lens.
Yeah, and Heather, we've done some polls to ask small business owners, especially with the politics issue.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a tricky line for some small business owners to walk, because many small business owners do have very strong values and they want to communicate their values through their small business, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's one of the perks of being a small business owner and not being part of corporate culture, right?
Yes.
So we're not necessarily discouraging you from communicating your business values, but I think always try to keep in mind who you might offend, because you don't want to go too far
And marginalize anyone.
Yeah, or alienate potential customers who are really offended by what you're posting. So just try to be aware and walk that line and make sure you're not turning off, again, potential customers who would want to spend their money with you. So
yeah, absolutely. And other things that you don't want to post, this kind of goes back to reviews. If somebody posts something on your page that's not necessarily glowing, again, don't delete. Respond professionally, respond quickly as possible. As soon as you see it, make sure you start responding and try and take that conversation offline.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in other lives. Ivy's talked about this with us before, but that's just something, again, to keep in mind on the what not to post. Don't get in an argument with your customers.
Right. Because again, not only could you potentially lose that specific customer you might be arguing with, this is all happening in a public forum.
Right.
And other customers could come and see that. So you just want to make sure, again, it's about relationship building, customer service, and just sort of really crafting this image of your business you want to put forward to your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up here. If you do have any other questions, you can go ahead and put those in the comments and we'll keep getting to you. And join us next Friday. We'll be talking again on Facebook Live. And thank you so much for joining.
Oh, my pleasure.